Today I fucked up, I faked a bad stomach which resulted in an operation. Today I fucked up. Okay, this happened when I was 13, I'm now 39. My little brother was ill in hospital after being born with numerous ailments. Not only this, my mother was in and out of hospital after suffering a brain hemorrhage and a stroke, so my dad was back and forth vising them, in different hospitals. Due to this, my two older siblings were acting out, petty crime, drugs, and I felt pretty neglected. So I decided to fake a bad stomach to get a day off school and some attention thrown my way. My dad was worried and called the doctor out, which I was fine with. It would hopefully result in a diagnosis of stomach bug and few days off. The doc was worried and sent me to hospital, a local hospital, so dad now had 3 hospitals to visit. Now I was a bit scared but thought I'd come too far to fess up. A specialist came in to run some diagnostics which included a finger up my butt. He asked if it hurt during various pokes and I said yes at one point. A few hours later another doc came in, a female doc, who repeated the finger up my butt. Again I just said yes at a random point. Doc tells my dad she thinks my appendix are rupturing and I need it out. I was now pretty scared but even more scared of confessing. I ended up being taken to theater and having my appendix out. The doc said afterwards that my appendix didn't look that swollen, so they were lucky they got it out before it went bad. I had 2 weeks off school and a few months with no pee. I've felt so bad for this ever since but never told my family. My parents had so much to deal with, so my attention seeking didn't help. In my defense, I was 13 and didn't fully understand what a shitty thing I was doing until it was too late. I like to think my appendix would have ruptured later in life, so this was a preemptive strike. TL Drive. I fucked up when I was 13, faking a bad stomach which resulted in my appendix being taken out, adding stress to my family which was already under a lot of health related stress. Edit. Okay, too many messages to reply to all, and thanks for the silver smiley face. To clarify, this 100% happened. I 100% had 2 fingers up my butt, by 2 doctors on 2 occasions at hospital, not at the same time. I'm from the UK, so healthcare is free, for the moment, winking face, so we generally don't think about medical costs. I'm not really that shocked this has happened to others, considering how quick it happened to me, and I know a bad stomach is often the go-to illness for pulling a sickie. But it's kinda nice to know I'm not the only one. My family may see this, but they'd have worked out it was me, so it's possible but unlikely. I will tell my family one day. My older siblings will love it because I was always the golden boy, best behaved, no trouble, went to college, etc. So they dine out on this for a long time, smiley face. And finally, yes, my dad is a fucking hero. This day, even though he's retired, he's gone back to work contracting so he can afford to shuttle family around to medical appointments. If you want to see him or need anything, he'll drop everything for you. He still makes Sunday dinners for the family, and takes food to his local pub for all his mates. If he's got £10 left in his pocket and you need it, he'll hand it over in a heartbeat. I've never done this though. Edit part 2. Wow, I can't believe how many people throw abuse and accuse people of lying for sharing a story. I'm guessing these sad cretins' lives are so sad and void of anything happening that anything which doesn't involve someone sat in their parents' basement wanking into a sock must be a lie. Man shrugging. Man, whenever my stomach hurts I just put it off as cramps. I'll probably eventually die from a burst appendix someday just thinking it's bad cramps. Also, to be fair, at that time they were talking everyone's appendix out left and right. It was the answer to everything. Oh man, I feel so bad for your dad. I don't even have the words. I can really understand his situation personally and omg. Okay, so you're 39. Old enough for it to be funny if you have that kind of relationship with your family? You should do something really nice for your dad and then let him in on it, lol. You know how much I love you guys. He'll probably find it funny now. Yeah, think the time has come for me to confess. No joke, this happened to a good friend's wife when she didn't feel like going to school, so she made up tummy aches. Later, she didn't want/know how to back up because things were already in motion, so she lost her appendix too. Oh, I did wonder if it had happened to others. The appendix might actually have a purpose. Scientists have theorized that it acts as a safe haven for your gut flora in the event of a major catastrophe that wipes out your intestinal microbiome, so your digestive bacteria can repopulate. Kudos for taking the lie that far, smiley face. Edit, probable theory but not proven. Edit, wow 1k upvotes. Never expected this humble comment to blow up the way it did. Thanks for all the upvotes dear peeps. That'll be karma then, smiley face. Today I fucked up. My neighbor who is a police officer knocked on my door on the 21st of April. I've always smoked in my apartment, but I had a female friend over the day that I couldn't see on the 20th of April, and she had on weed socks and he was in his truck while we were outside smoking a cig. We go inside and light up a joint we pre-rolled full of really loud bud, and lit up. Smoked damn near the entire thing while watching a movie. About 45 minutes into the movie, I hear 3 very loud knocks on my door and see him through the peephole. I immediately spray myself, stupid, whatever, and open the door and step out, closing it behind me. He introduced himself, asks if I remember who he is and what he does. Explains that he can smell from outside and inside his apartment below and to the left of us. He's upset he had to explain what the smell was to his daughter, and was upset that other families around me likely had to smell it. Told me that between my friend's socks and the smells he has enough that he doesn't even need a warrant. He then says he's coming to me as a neighbor, not a police officer. He says he appreciated me helping him find gear for his daughter to skate, and that he's never had problems with me and that he thinks it should be legal, but that I need to find somewhere else to do it, and that if it happens again he won't be so nice. I had the biggest heart attack of my life. My anxiety was ridiculous. Even though it's only misdemeanor in my state, I'm still not trying to deal with it. TLDR, lit up some loud and got a visit from the police. It fixed a few errors. Hello favorite community, locked due to spam. Please enjoy a high-def reading mode. Thanks. Joints are probably the worst way to smoke in an apartment complex. The smell just lingers for so long. Point is, other people don't want to smell that shit in their own house coming from someone else. Same with really any smell coming into your home. Agreed. I don't care if people smoke. I think it should be legal and all, and I will sign the petition and check the box on the voting papers. But I don't want to smell it in my apartment, and I do smell it and it pisses me off. I just don't like the smell of it. Do smokeless ashtrays still exist? With laws changing, I would think that would be a big idea. Still exists? I had no idea that was ever a thing. Back in the day we'd use dryer sheets and a toilet paper roll. Today I fucked up by tasting a horse girl's gross vagina in a meeting with my boss, NSFW obviously. So this happened a few years ago, and it always gives my friends a chuckle, so I figured I would share. Also, really not proud of this moment. So a few years ago, I was working happily at a country club. At the time I got along really well with my co-workers and boss, and loved working there as a result. Now at the time of this incident, I was single, hated country music, and was somewhat naive when it came to girls/relationships as well as alcohol, having turned 21 a few months before. My sister, who is older than me by a few years, invited me to go out with her for her birthday at her favorite bar. The bar was having a Coyote Ugly night, and not knowing what that was, I assumed it had something to do with hunting or something, as my sister is a bit of a country girl. Now, as I said, I don't particularly like country music, but decided to go and celebrate with her, figuring I would have a couple drinks and then head out. Well, I get there, walk inside and see chicks standing on the bar dancing to Darius Rucker Wagon Wheel, fucking banger BTW, and pouring free alcohol into people's mouths every 15 to 20 minutes. I may not like country music, but I do like free booze, so I stay and celebrate. One of my best friends shows up to party it up as well, and we had a blast. Fast forward a couple hours, I'm Richard erect off Jack fire shots and tequila, and start talking to one of my sister's friends who wants to dance. So as we are dancing, but she finds out that I am 21 and curves me, saying she wants to date a doctor or something. So being drunk, I just kinda saunter back to the free booze. All of a sudden I find myself talking to this girl I hadn't seen before. I'm clearly wasted, and she is a little drunk, but still talking to me and asks to dance. She was an enigma of a woman. She wasn't particularly pretty or ugly, wasn't short but also wasn't tall, wasn't fat, but also wasn't in shape. She just kinda looked like a wee avatar or a sim poured into a pair of Daisy Dukes a size or two too small. Just bland, flavorless. Now first of all, her name was Chevy. That was her name. I don't know what it was short for, but you can see where this is going. She said she rode horses, and loved her own horse and could shoot like the boys and whatnot, but I'm kinned off in and out of the conversation trying to dance. And so we dance. I just wanted to groove. Throughout the night my sister keeps coming over and separating us, basically being a cockblock to me, and I don't understand why and keep brushing it off. Anyways, we go outside and make out against her old 1500 crew cab in the parking lot, and I proceed to finger her. Like I said, not proud of this, and was on the fast track to going further when my best friend calls me over from the door of the bar. He is there with my sister, who is pissed at me and this girl. My sister claims this girl literally sleeps around with everyone at this country bar, and that there wasn't exactly the most hygienic, and that I really didn't want to do what she thought I wanted to do. Fast forward to the next day. I show up to work for a meeting with my boss and fellow managers going over some facility work we had to do. I had a little bit of time before the meeting and had told my co-workers about my strange night, and then we got things underway. About 25 minutes into the meeting I start getting antsy and start biting my nails as I do when I'm bored, and oh my sweet Jesus. I had showered quickly in the morning and didn't think anything of it, but the vaginal discharge had gotten under my fingernails the night before, and it was like putting my tongue on a rancid dying animal. I'm talking like a stinky sour tang, like eating a crock-pot beef stroganoff Sour Patch Kid. It was absolutely horrid. Immediately I heave. I didn't puke thankfully, but it triggered a gag reflex I hadn't experienced before nor since. The room of 7 or so people all stop and look at me, and I go to the bathroom where I rinse my mouth out before returning to the meeting. Everyone figured I was just feeling sick from the night before. Now up to this point I didn't know what the taste was. I thought maybe I encountered something in the kitchen or outside that led to this. It was only after becoming more acquainted with females that I realized the gravity of what happened. This day I will never even think about buying a Chevy ever. TL/Doctor, got drunk and fingered a down home country girl at my sister's birthday. Tasted her nasty vaginal discharge when I bit my fingernails in a meeting at work the next day. Will never buy a Chevrolet ever. Wow. This really blew up overnight. I just wanted to thank you all for taking the time to read and share in my gross experience. Also thank you so much for the platinum, was not expected from this story of all, haha. Just real quick, I want to clear up a couple things I have been seeing in the comments. First, a couple people are saying I'm the nasty one for not washing my hands. You're correct. I showered the morning of the meeting, but did not scrub under my fingernails as many people forget to do. Out of the many fuck-ups in this story, the main fuck-up is me not washing my hands better. Yes, but this title was pertinent to the story and made me crack a smile, so I went with this. Second, this post was never in any way, shape, or form intended to be misogynistic in any way. To the couple of people saying I'm slut-shaming, remember I was full steam ahead on hooking up until my friend intervened on my drunk bum. I have no ill will towards anyone, especially her, so any negativity you find here is what you bring in yourself. Third, guys, I'm not above stank dick. Get it after a heated confrontation with a hotel concierge or an intense power walk during a Bath and Body Works BOGO sale. It happens to literally every person on the planet. It's okay to be stinky sometimes. Personally, I am petrified of getting stank dick before someone is trying to head down under, and I'd say most people probably agree. But yeah, thanks again for reading, everyone. I hope you all have an awesome day. Keep slaying, boy. Crock-pot beef stroganoff Sour Patch Kid. Some artists use paint, others use words. Bet you wish the Chevy was dry. Oscar Oasis was drinking whiskey and rye, saying this'll be the day he gets an STI. Thanks for helping me remember what my breakfast from 2 hours ago tasted like. Immediate edit: upon rereading comment, I regurgitated it. It did not taste like rancid horse vagina. Thankfully. It took me a couple of tries to read the title and I'm still not sure if I'm reading it correctly. I was really looking forward to the story of how Op ate out a female horse. Don't you wash your hands? In his defense, I have shampooed, conditioned and scrubbed my beard before and still got a faint whiff of the dessert the night before. I can't imagine what it's like if it's dirty.